Welcome back to the Weights and Glory podcast. I'm Walter.
I'm Ethan. Let's get into it.
So today we're going to be talking about gym anxiety as well as church anxiety. So anxiety, nervousness you might get from being in the gym, going to work out, as well as going in the church, being a Christian, being around other believers, things of that nature.
Yeah, I think this is something that a lot of people can relate to. Even me and you can relate to this. And I have never really had the church anxiety, and that's just because I was raised in a church. My dad's been a pastor my whole life. I've been going to a church since I was a baby. But the gym side of it, dude, no, I can 100% relate to it. So, yeah, it's rough, and it's something that's hard to get over. But, no, I mean, I think first let's kind of look at the gym side of it if you want to.
Yeah.
Talk about your experience.
So I've been working out since I was 13, 14-ish with my dad. And then I started going by myself to an actual gym. That was at the rehab center.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people. And so when I started working out more consistently, kind of doing my own research, going to Snap Fitness, was it? Like a commercial gym. I didn't have as much as some people might have just because I had that previous experience with my dad who knows what he's doing and taught me proper form and how to use machines and all the fundamentals and the mentality and stuff. So I haven't had it too much, but there have been times, especially if because there have been times where I fall out of going to the gym. I haven't been consistent. And then I go back and I'm not feeling as big. I'm not feeling as strong.
Yeah.
And so I'm a little nervous. I'm a little I don't feel as good.
Yeah.
And there was one time, it was in Buford. So when I was going down for some training for the military, and there's some monsters there, dude. Like, I'm a pretty decent sized guy.
Oh, come on. You're huge.
But there were MARSOC Marines, there were Special Forces, just
manly men
in all categories. Like, you'd have a dude that was super lean doing endurance workouts, going crazy in the corner, and then you'd have a mass monster 250 bench pressing 405 like it was nothing.
Yeah, when you walk
and
in,
so and so I'm like, dang, I suck. Like, I'm small, and so then you do get a little anxious. Like, there were times where I felt like I couldn't take off my shirt and then have muscle shirt or a stringer underneath to kind of show my muscles, because I'm thinking to myself, I'm not big enough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get weird looks because that guy over there is way bigger than me. He can do it. I can't do it though.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
And so there's that little
comparing yourself to everybody else.
I'm getting a little shy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, and see, and like we said before, like, his fitness journey was kind of like skinny to fit, and mine was like overweight to fit. And so I see it from the side that I feel like a lot of people do, like going to a public gym or a commercial gym, especially if you're starting your fitness journey, you're overweight, you just think like everybody's judging you. Everybody's looking at you like, why are they here? I mean, and so whenever I've kind of went on and off to the gym for a long time. I was never super consistent. Would go for like 3 months at a time, and that's why I never really saw like real results. So I remember whenever the new gym opened up here, I was going like with my buddies, and so that was a kind of a way for me to get around that anxiety, was going with other people with me. But the thing was, I was really the only overweight one out of all of us, so that kind of still affected me. But like, there's a bunch of people in great shape and some guys that were jacked in there, but what helped me was going with other people. But it's like, if my buddies weren't going, I was not going. I wasn't going by myself, because being overweight in the gym, and that's what's so crazy, and how much we've misconstrued it, is the reason you go to the gym is to get in shape. You want to see overweight people in the gym because that means they're changing, but we think of it as we can only go if we're in shape. which is crazy. I mean, it's you don't go to like, I don't know. I mean, okay, let's say you don't go to tutoring. If you're in school, you don't go to tutoring because you already know it all, because you're super smart in the subject. You go because you need work in that subject to get better.
Yeah. Oh, I can only go to tutoring once I figure it all out.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
It doesn't add up.
And so that's kind of how I saw it, and that's how a lot of people do.
Because whenever I see someone overweight in the gym or real scrawny, I don't think anything bad. I'm like, good for them. This is where they should be.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. But a majority of the time, 99% of the time, people aren't focused on you in the gym.
Exactly.
They are focused on themselves, and they're thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're looking at me. They're judging me.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that same thing. So you're only judging yourself at the end of it all.
Yeah, we as people are our hardest critics. But there are people that are jerks in gyms that think like that. But most gym bros and anybody that goes to the gym that's in great shape, they would be your biggest fan. But the thing is, we just get in our heads so much that we just convince ourselves that people are judging us, people are looking at us weird, and I've been there, and it's super hard to get over. But there's a point where you just have to, and I'm gonna be honest, some of the times I would just use that as an excuse to not go to the gym because I didn't want to go, and I'll just be like, well, I just didn't want to go because I was being lazy, but I would just think, well, if I go, people are going to judge me, and this and that. No, they won't. But that's something that's definitely hard to get over. But the best way to do it is just work through it. And honestly, if you go up to some of the people that you might think are judging you and just be like, hey, I have a question about this, you'll make like a best friend. And they'll be so nice most of the time. I mean, there's people that are jerks, don't get me wrong. But people in the gym, I mean, and usually, and I can speak for both of us, especially like you being so knowledgeable, doing it for so long, you want to share the knowledge you've gained over doing that. And people want the chance to do that. So if you give them that chance, I mean, you can make a great friend and like have somebody that could help train you and give you points and tips.
I mean, I've had that before where I was doing, I can't remember what exercise it was. Doesn't matter. But when I was finished, he complimented me on how much weight I was doing, and then he asked me. It was a completely unrelated exercise to what I was doing. Yeah. And he said, "What's the best way to target this muscle, or what do you do for this?" And I said, "Oh, I usually do this because." It hits a little better than doing an alternate workout. Yeah. And I was excited, like you said, to share the knowledge I had. Yeah. And I was happy that he asked me. Yeah. And I wasn't like rude about it. I was like, he wants to progress and he doesn't know. He's asking the questions. He's not going to go in there and just get himself hurt or just not do it. He wanted to learn, and that's admirable. Yeah. And so I was totally willing and happy to help him out.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, if you are struggling with that, and that's part of the reason you're not wanting to really go like all in on your fitness journey, that's something that, and it's not, I don't want to say just like get over it, because I've been there and I know it's hard you can't just get over it, but just remember that you are judging yourself way more than anybody else is. So just remember that you're there to get better. Everybody that is in the gym is there to get better, but everybody's just at different stages. I mean, there's probably people in there, and I'm not some huge jacked guy, super lean, but
stop.
But if I'm in like a commercial gym and there's someone overweight that walks in, they might look at me and think like, oh, he's in good shape. Like, I don't need to be doing this. But you never know what somebody else's journey, when it started and what they looked like at the beginning. Mm-hmm. I mean, I was way overweight and I was like way out of shape But like, you got to remember that people have been where you're at, but they did it. I mean, that's the thing. You have to commit and realize that, one, don't care about what anybody else it might be thinking about if you're overweight in the gym. Don't care about that. That doesn't matter. All that matters is the work you're putting in while you're in there. So, but remember that there's people in there that have been in your shoes, and the reason that they're where they are is because they kept at it, and they just finally realized, like, why am I worried about this? I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna put the work in. I don't care what anybody else thinks while I'm in here. So that's the best way that I found to deal with that.
And if you are struggling with it to such a degree, find somebody that you know that does go to the gym.
Yeah.
That you can go with, that you can feel comfortable with. And after a certain point, you can start going by yourself. Or you can, if you're just going by yourself, if you don't have anyone to go with, go at a time, like go before work. A lot of people, the gyms are usually always packed around 4 to 6 when people get off work.
Yeah.
So go in the morning, go on a lunch break if you're able to, so there's less people. And then you build up a tolerance almost. You develop a relationship with the gym that you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
And then you build up that tolerance, you build comfortability in it. So then down the line in the future, you can go whenever you want. You feel more comfortable. You're more secure in yourself.
Yeah, I mean, like what you said, I think it's great to try to find somebody that will go with you. Or if you have nobody that will go with you, talk to people while you're in there. Don't just I'm antisocial as it gets, but don't just go in there and just not talk to anybody. I mean, try to build some relationships if you don't have somebody that'll go with you. And then you start building those relationships, you're like, oh, well, they're going to probably be there, or I can text them and see if they're there. So, I mean, I got somebody there I know. Yeah. But it's a lot better when you have somebody going with you like I used to. I mean, I'd have a couple of my buddies or one or two of them, and that just kind of helps, like, I don't know, it just helps you get over that anxiety because you're not thinking about what other people are thinking. You're just thinking about being with your boys or whoever. So, I think it's great to have somebody with you and try to get somebody, or just try to build relationships with people that consistently go, because like goes back to what we said in the past is having that accountability too. I mean, so having someone that will be like, hey, are you coming to the gym today? So, I mean, I think that's the best way to go about having that gym anxiety, and that's how I kind of dealt with it and how I got over that.
And I've built relationships with dudes in the gym who I never even learned their name. Yeah. It would just so happen to be that's just we go to the gym at the same time, like on base at the same time every day. And so I'd see him. Like, oh, what's up, dude? I'd ask him for a spot. He's hyping me up.
That's the best. That's like the best way to start a conversation with somebody at the gym is just be like,
ask for a spot.
Yes. Yeah. Be like, hey, can you spot me real quick?
Yeah. And then like it just goes from there. You build that relationship and it's just so cool because like you said, we're all trying to better ourselves in some way. And that's the commonality that everyone has while you're there. Yeah, you can all relate to that.
But everybody's in different stages of that. But yeah, I mean, somebody to spot you, you're basically asking them to protect your life. So that's putting a lot of trust in somebody. So you can build a relationship pretty quick. You're putting your life in their hands. But I remember seeing a bunch of TikToks, and it was funny to me because it was like seeing that one person like working out, and you see one person in the gym every day at the same time that you work out, and then you change up the time that you go, and
they're still there.
And they're there. I think that's hilarious. But I swear that happens so much. But yeah, I mean,
there's one dude at the gym me and Mallory go to. He's there literally all the time. Like I'll drive by, I see him parked. I'll go. It doesn't matter where I'm going. Yeah. I'll drive by 3 hours later. He's still there. I don't know what he's doing.
But he's grinding.
He is doing something.
But anyway, I mean, that's the best way that I dealt with that gym anxiety, and I think it'll help anybody. Just remember that you're judging yourself a lot worse than anybody else is.
Oh, yeah.
So take it easy on yourself. Not too easy, though. You got to lock in. But yeah, I mean, this applies almost identical to having church anxiety.
Yeah.
I mean, people that either are believers, they're saved, they're Christians, or that just haven't attended church regularly, or they've been gone for a while, or someone that's never been to church, and you almost get like, one, there's so many to choose from, you don't know where to go, but also you're just like, man, I'm not a Christian, I don't know, I don't think I should be in there. No, that's exactly where you need to be.
It's like what you said before. I need to go to the gym, but I need to get in shape first. It's the same with church.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to get right with the Lord before I can go to church. No. Go to the church and get right with him.
Yeah, that helps you get right with the Lord.
Exactly. You don't have to be perfect before you go to church.
Yeah, because none of us are.
Yeah.
None of us in church
that's not
are
going to
perfect.
happen anyways. But
Even if I'm standing in a pulpit preaching, I ain't perfect. I can tell you that. I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not perfect. But, and I'm not saying you have to go to church to be saved at all. You don't have to go to church to be a Christian. But you're kind of missing out on a lot if you're not.
you should really, I think you should want to.
Exactly. If you're truly saved and you're truly following God, you want to be surrounded by other fellow believers.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that goes along with church anxiety is people have kind of ruined church for others. And I hate it, man, because
I hear that so often.
it's the same thing with, like, there might be that one jerk in the gym. There might be that one Christian that's in the church that ruins it for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate it because that's not how all of us are. And all it takes is one to ruin it for somebody. So, but then it's like that happens, and then they're like, they're scared to go to any church.
Yep.
Because they're like, all Christians are hypocrites.
It's going to be exactly the same. And I've had some, so from my own experience in terms of church anxiety, like you were saying, grew up in the church.
Yeah.
I grew up in the church as well. But there was a point, so when I was in Japan, stationed over there,
Yeah.
where I was adjusting to a new country, a new lifestyle. Everything was changing. I didn't have that support.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, I had it. I knew my family was praying for me, and I could talk to them whenever I needed to, but they weren't physically with me there.
Yeah.
And so there was a point I didn't go to church for a while, and so when I decided to go back I tried a church on base, and then there was one right outside of base that I ended up going to regularly after a while. I was kind of uncomfortable with it because I hadn't been in so long. I'm going by myself because, here in town, I would go with you.
Yeah.
I'd go with my family. I knew people.
Yeah.
So stepping out and going somewhere to a church I'd never been before, that was a little uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
On top of not have been going for a while. And it's just like we had mentioned it, I think last week, when you are in the world and you're involved in all these things, when you finally just decide to go to church or pray, read the Bible, it can be uncomfortable.
Yeah. 100%.
But then once you start doing it, then it's the reverse effect. You feel convicted
by not going.
It's
like you're missing it.
because you're in the Word and you're doing what you're supposed to.
Yeah. And I actually, just whenever you talking about that, made me think about, I've had it before. I've had some church anxiety before when I went to college. I had to go to a church that I'd never been to. And like, I went to college with my sister. Like, we were at the same college, and like, we would go some Sundays, but there would be times where she wouldn't be there. Like, she'd come home for the weekend, or she'd be at a golf tournament, whatever. I wouldn't have anybody to go with. And dude, there were sometimes I just didn't go because I just didn't want to be by myself there. But the thing is, there's some statistic, but there's a high chance that someone like will come to church. Like, a lot of Christians are scared to invite other people to church, but most people that you like go out of your way and invite to church, they'll probably come. Mm-hmm. Like, it's a high chance they're going to come.
You just have to ask them.
Yeah, exactly.
But they never get the invitation.
Yeah.
They want to feel welcome there. They don't want to just show up. They want to feel, oh, Ethan invited me to church. I should go. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel honored that he asked me
Yeah.
specifically to go with him.
Yeah. And that goes back to, so like, there are definitely some churches that will make you feel not welcomed. 100%. I've been in some, but that's why I love our church. They do such a good job. Like, we do such a good job of like really going out of our way to try to make new people and guests feel welcome, which is amazing. And so, I mean, if you're going to a church and you're consistently at church and you're following the Lord and you see new people, make a point to make them feel welcome. Don't just sit there and think, oh, well, somebody else will do it. No, you do it. You go out of your way to make them feel welcome, because it might be you that keeps them coming, that makes them feel like it might be, you might be the one that God is telling, hey, go make sure that they feel welcome here.
Do you remember the movie To Save a Life?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
For those who haven't seen it, it's a guy, he was getting bullied. He got hit by a car, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He pushed his friend out of the way, got hit by the car. Then he was getting bullied for the way he walked and some other things that happened to him. Goes to church, and he starts talking to the pastor, but then the pastor gets pulled away from someone else, and he just gets distracted, and then he's just left there standing there. He doesn't feel welcomed, and then if you've seen the rest, you know what happens. Nothing good, but
yeah, all it takes, man, is just one thing, and it's. I know it's hard, like, if you're getting pulled away trying to, especially being a pastor, you're trying to run things, but man, take the extra time with someone new. The person that, and you're probably getting pulled away for somebody that is at church consistently, and I'm not saying that they're any less of a person, but they can wait.
They can wait.
They can wait. So, but that on that side, make new people feel welcome at church. But if you're the person that is so worried about it, it's the same thing as going to the gym. You go there. If you're thinking about going to church, you know that there's a reason. You're missing something. And if you're not saved and you want to try going to church, you know there's a reason you want to go. Let that be the driving force. Let that be the only thing you're worried about, is because if you are feeling like you need to go to church, you feel like you're missing something, make sure you go. Don't let that anxiety overwhelm you. And there might be churches that you go to that you might not feel welcome, but don't stop. Just keep looking. But on the other side of that, like if you're a Christian you're saved, but you just kind of veered off the path and just kind of strayed from God. You've been to church, yes, there might be some people that are like, dang, they're coming back. They ain't been here forever, but that don't matter. And I want to read this verse. 1 Samuel 16:7 says, "But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look at his appearance or at his physical stature, because I have refused him. For the Lord does not see as man sees. For man looks at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart." And what I get from that is, it don't matter what other people think, what other people say, what they do. All that matters is the Lord is looking at your heart. That's all he cares about. He don't care what you look like. He don't care the clothes you have on. He don't care whatever. He looks at your heart. So, make sure, if you're wanting to go to church, make sure your heart's in the right place. But, when you're going to church, I don't want to look at church as like, this is where all your problems are going to be fixed. That's not it. But it has the people that are followers of God that will help disciple you, and you'll get the word, because you might be feeling like you should be going to this church on Sunday, this service, because there might be one sentence that God has given to that pastor to tell you that is specifically for you, and might be an answer to what you've been praying for, or an answer to whatever in your life. And if you don't go, you might be missing that.
Mallory's told me that a lot recently, not to put her business out there, but that your dad, what he preached on that week, directly correlated to something that was going on with her.
Yeah.
And that she had been thinking about or praying about.
Yeah.
And if you don't go, you could be missing exactly what God wants you to hear.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said, you don't have to go to church to be a Christian, but you should want to, because for one, encouragement. Everyone, I mean, I think Jay talks about it a lot at church when he's on the mic, that it's just encouraging to be there and around fellow
fellowship.
believers.
It's
and
fellowship. It is a essential part of a Christian belief.
It's like you're recharging.
Yes.
Like after a long week, you've been going through trials and all this crap is going on, and you just get recharged. You're hearing a good word. You're worshiping. You're talking and catching up with fellow believers, fellowshipping, and it just feels good at the bare minimum. That.
Yeah.
But then also
worship.
There's the worship. You're praising God. You get to deep dive into the Word. You get to learn more and grow.
Yeah.
There's just so many aspects that church covers that you should want to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, you think of it as there's not really anywhere else that you go throughout your week where the only focus is God. The whole reason you're there is God. Mm-hmm. There's nothing else you're going to get that from during your week. So that's the 1 or 2 or however many times that y'all have church services that you go. That is the time where you can
shut out.
Everything is about God in that moment. Mm-hmm. And the worship, I mean, you can worship God listening to music in your car. You can do it however, but just in a church and you just feel His presence, and it's just a way for you to outwardly express the love you have inside for God.
Because where 2 or more people gather in His name.
Yeah.
How does that verse go?
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's.
He'll be in the.
He'll be in that presence.
Be in their presence.
Yeah. Basically saying that's basically saying you don't need a building. The church is the people.
Yeah.
So I mean, right there you have 2 people. You got worship and fellowship in God. So, but the main thing is don't be scared to go to church. I mean, it don't matter if you're lost, if you're saved, if you're running from the Lord. Don't let that deter you, because all that matters is God wants you. God wants you there. He knows your heart. It don't matter what anybody else sees. God doesn't look at the outward appearance. He looks at your heart. But that's the biggest thing. Just make sure that you don't let other people get in the way of your relationship with God. But
that's all I got.
That's all I got. Stay ready. Lift heavy.
Yeah.